Rothenberg. And Eric is going to discuss end-of-year tax planning. And Eric's an expert in this field. And Eric, thanks for being here.
Welcome back, Eric.
Thank you. I think it's good to be here again.
It's been a while, but it's always a pleasure to have you in the studio with us.
Taxes don't disappear. They're around all year.
Death and taxes, right?
Death and
That's
taxes.
the only
I deal
two
with
things.
both.
Eric, so tell us what's going on.
Well, this is the time of year that most people put off. The most important part of their tax life is to plan, because you only have 2 months left to really deal with taxes, and you face them typically in April, or if you extend in October. And unfortunately, by then, most of the things are too late. There are things you can do after year end to plan, but most of the good stuff is right now, between now and year end.
And what kind of things can somebody do to take advantage of the time they have?
The first thing they ought to do is assess what they have, what's already happened, meaning have they had capital gains and losses that have already happened, and do they want to offset them? If they have losses, can they use them? Because if you have capital losses, you know you can only use $3,000 per year against ordinary income. That's not very much, and the rest get carried over. So sometimes it may be important, for an example, to have recognition of gain voluntarily to offset those losses, and then you can buy back that stock the next day, because the wash sale rules don't apply to gains, they only apply to losses. So if you have losses, you can offset that, buy back the stock, and get a step up in basis, so down the road, if they change the tax law for a higher capital gain tax, you'll be ready with a higher basis. That's one example.
That's a good one.
Very good.
A lot of people that I deal with are also right on the border of itemizing and not itemizing. And for example, the standard deduction now for joint for 2011, last year's returns was 11,000 and change, and for a single it's about 5,700. So some people, that's right on the border of how much they have. So what I tell people to do is, if you plan properly, you can, if they own a home, a lot of elderly people in their 80s have no mortgage, so they don't have that big mortgage deduction, but they have real estate taxes, they may have excise tax and charity, and they're right at the border, and medical, they often have a lot of medical. So I tell them, well, don't pay the last quarter tax on November 1st, put that off until January 1st, it costs you about a month's worth of interest, but then next year pay the February 1st one in December, so you'll get 6 in 1 year instead of 4 and 4. 1 year you'll have 2, but then you'll take the standard deduction. The next year you'll have 6, and maybe you'll save some money. It's worth doing. There are lots of deferrals you can do. If you're self-employed, you can forget to send your bills out. If you're on a cash basis, that's an easy one to do. Don't send them out on December 1st. We'll get paid in December. Send them out December 28th, and you'll get paid next year.
Right. Now, if you get paid